Match of the day was great last week. I mean, look at this lovely bit of commentary after the United game. That is quality, that. Right, so lads, today I'm doing a little bit of a weird one. It's not the usual Arsenal ain't winning the Prem video. It's actually something else. Manchester United are a Premier League club I'm quite fond of. Yes, sorry, I'm trying to make up a stupid reason for making this video, but I just simply don't have any video ideas. Please help me out. Comment, lad. I'd love for you all to help create the Macca football community. Starting from the bottom, and we have Southampton, who we just drew to, which is great. I would actually say Ward-Prowse for the set pieces, but we have Ericsson, who's currently injured, so I'm going to go for a little bit of a different one, and probably a smart one. Bella Kotchap. He'll do. The 21-year-old centre-back, who's actually a German international, yes, a Southampton player, is getting into the German national teams. You heard that correct. I love, with all my heart, Martinez and Varane. Oh, beautiful. But I don't trust Maguire. Oh, but he's a backup now. You can say that. I don't trust him with 3 minutes to go. Leeds. Don't like Leeds. I mean, they're just bad. I guess if I had to pick a player, I'd go for Gnotto. Hope I'm saying his name right. The 19-year-old Italian international striker has got 4 goal involvements in his first 15 games with the White Roses. And I reckon he'll move to an elite club soon. So why not Man United? I'm sure you can do a better job at scoring than Westall. Bournemouth, no one. I mean, no offence. I love you, lads. You know, back when I used to do the game week, I could not stop praising you. I just don't rate any of your players. I would say that I'm a football genius, but your players are so bad, I don't think I know anything about them. West Ham, what happened to them? Europa League final last season, now 17th. I mean, Editor Ben, your club, they've had a mare. They have had a mare. Obviously, I'm going to say Rice. Most people will think competitor with Casemiro, but I'm actually going to say for him to compete and take Ericsson's role when we're playing a more hard-working team, because obviously Ericsson, he's had the heart problems. He's not been good enough against those more hard-working, pressuring teams. And I feel like a player like Rice, who plays alongside Casemiro, could be great. I like Rice, and I feel like he can do that role of progressing the ball. I think it's actually one of his most underrated roles. I believe he's a better progressor of the ball than a defensive midfielder. I've put my hands up. I mean, maybe that's crazy. I don't know. Ben, what are you thinking? But I do back the fact that I said he's miles overrated on the podcast, because he is English tax. Leicester, I'm thinking Harry Souttar. I mean, at the World Cup, he was just quality. 6'6" beast. Oh, wow. Everton, oh, nana, oh, nana. I don't want copyright, so I'ma stop singing. He won the French League last season, and I've seen glimpses of spectacularness. Is that a word? Forest, only one man, Brennan Johnson. I watched a lot of Championship football last season. You know, I really actually got into the Championship that season, because it is an underrated league, isn't it? And I think I even predicted him to score in the playoff final. You guys can fact check me, because obviously I've made that video. 21 years old. He's got bags of potential for days, and we need a striker. Come do a shift for us, bro. Wolverhampton Wanderers, I'm going to say Neves, because United fans have been wanting this transfer since 2020. Arsenal fans have been wanting this transfer since 2020. Liverpool fans have been wanting this transfer since 2020. But guess what? He's still at Wolves. How has that happened? I'm not giving up on it. I refuse to. Get Neves to Old Trafford. Alice, I found out a cheeky fact about the team. You know, they're actually the first team since stats actually started being recorded that haven't registered a shot on goal in 3 consecutive matches. After that, there's no chance I'm choosing an attacker. It's going to be Jake Decore. He's my pick. He's 23 years old to start off with. If you don't know much about him, he's an offensive midfielder. He's fitting like a glove since coming to the Premier League. You know, he's the top 10 for successful tackles. Nice backup for Casemiro, and we need a blooming backup. I mean, Casemiro out for 4 games. Rest and pay. I know it's a second suspension, so he has to be out for 4 games. But play the tackle, Ben. Do you guys think that was a red card? Tell me in the comments. We've been robbed. Robbed, I say. Aston Villa, I find them bland for some reason. Do you guys like Aston Villa? Because with me, I like what they're doing. I like that they've brought in Emery, but I just find them bland for some reason. Like, if we were to sign a Villa player, I would not be happy. But I have to choose. Although actually I didn't choose for Bournemouth, but I'm gonna choose anyway. I'm saying Boubacar Kamara. I mean, I've been keeping my eye on him for 4 years. I'm not joking. I'm not trying to sound like a football hipster. But ever since this guy was a young lad for Marseille, I've genuinely been really liking him. I may or may not only know him for 4 years because of his FIFA potential. But we don't need to talk about that. I like Boubacar Kamara, and I'd sign him for the same reasons as I would Cheikh Doucouré, so there's no point waffling. Right in mid-table, we have the apparently big club, Chelsea. João Felix was a player I was actually very, very vocal. I think I mentioned it on the channel a couple of times. I do not want him at Manchester United. That was mainly because of the loan fee, but I also thought he was a little bit... He was very inconsistent for Atletico Madrid, and I didn't know if he was going to fulfill his potential. But I've watched him a lot for Chelsea, and I feel like he's actually been one of their positive players, if not one of their best players. He's scored 4 goals, and we're missing a big striker. Not literally. I mean, Weghorst, he's massive. Golly gosh, he is big. Before we get into the top half, subscribe! Trust me, I'm a consistent YouTuber. Please give the Macca Football channel a chance. Promise, you will not regret it. Also, tell me your opinions about some of these players. Manchester United right now, your Premier League opinions, anything. I want to start a community. Get involved. It would mean the world, lads. Please. Love you all. On to Brentford, and credit to Raya, because I would pick him if we actually had a good striker, if Martial was fit, because I believe he will be the successor and should be the successor to David De Gea. Not just because he's also Spanish, but I think on the ball, best in the Premier League, better than Ederson, and he is just a quality shot stopper. I really, really like Raya. I could talk about it for about 10 hours, but I'm not going to waste the time. So it's got to be the best penalty taker in the world, Ivan Toney. He's 3rd in the Premier League with 15 goals and actually 2nd for expected goals. I don't like the whole expected thing. Oh, but he's got his thirst in expected goals. No one cares. He got the goals, but still, I mean, it says something that he plays for Brentford and he's 2nd in expected goals for the top scorers. He's a machine that could easily, no doubt, fix our Martial injury problems. Just like that. Definition of a complete striker. Massive. Fulham, easy. Willian, he is one of the best Premier League wingers, and he's got another 7 years in him. I'm telling you. Got you, Editor Ben. I got you all. That wasn't a funny joke, was it? That was not a funny joke. João Paulinho is my pick. The Portuguese midfielder is in my team of the season so far, and he has that rare ability. I find it is very rare to control the game no matter what the tempo, no matter who's dominating. If the ball gets to him in the middle of the park and he at least has one area of space, he's going to use that so well. Plus, every so often he scores a rocket, so that's a bang. I was actually watching the FA Cup game against... Who was it? It was a team that plays in red. It might have been Nottingham... No, it wasn't Nottingham Forest. I'm searching it up. Oh, it was Leeds. It wasn't a team in red. But anyway, he scored against Leeds. Absolute rocket. Brighton, De Zerbi has done bits with this team, and one of his key consistent components has been Moises Caicedo. Story time, lads. This is story time. I kid you not, back in the day, maybe early 2021, I ran a Manchester United fan account. Yes, I actually did. And it was actually quite successful. And I literally posted about this guy saying we should sign him when he was playing in his native land, Colombia. We didn't sign him, and now he costs 17 mil. Liverpool. If I was to pick a Liverpool player, I think I'd be quite slated in the comments. No one. So even if I wanted one of these players, it wouldn't matter because they just end up signing a long-term contract. We always lose out to Liverpool. We lost Gakpo. That was our fault. We lost Nunes. That was our fault. We lost Fabinho. That was our fault. And we lost Keita, which was also our fault. I've given up. I've given up. Not happening. Newcastle. We're actually getting really close to first, but we got Newcastle. Guimaraes alongside Casemiro would be a dream for United fans at Old Trafford. He's defensively capable and he knows how to get an odd goal. I mean, this guy has just been superb for Newcastle. You lads remember when I made that video of Macca Dad talking about Bruno Guimaraes? I actually did really well about last year, straight after he signed. And we praised Guimaraes. We backed it up with stats. We said why he'd be a massive success. And what's he gone and done? He's been a success. Another player United should have bought. I mean, what more can I say? I'm down to see that after Eriksen leaves. Potential Brazilian combination. There's the word. We got Spurs. And I'd be an idiot not to go for Kane. He might be a Fortnite addict. I have to give it to the Englishman. He's on track to become the highest scoring player in the Premier League of all time. Which, in my opinion, yeah, it isn't too shabby. It is not too shabby. 20 Premier League goals this season, only behind Haaland. I feel like if he moves to United this summer, I'm calling it. Erik ten Hag. He'll be leading a menacing United team. It'll be like Van Persie. He'll come, and I guarantee this, I can put money on this, mate. I can put an empty Walker's, empty crisp packet on the fact that if Kane comes to sign for United, next season, we're going to win the Premier League. Second last team, it has gone quick, hasn't it? And we have City. I don't really want to say anyone, but if I have to, I'm going to give it to KDB because I feel like it's a bit too generic with the whole Haaland thing. I think he's extremely overrated. I stand by that. I was talking about on the podcast, George Tabby and Benjamin went absolutely wild, but I think it's right. You know, people mention his name with the best just because it's KDB. Just not because of form, not because of what he's done over the last couple of years, just because it's him. But I'll take him over Fernandes, if I'm being honest. I mean, Fernandes, he's a very good player. He's been much better this season than last season, but KDB. I'm literally just doing what I criticise. I'm saying it's KDB because it's KDB. Anyway, on to Arsenal. In first, but not for long, the Gunners. We might as well sign Bukayo Saka. I mean, everyone's debating Rashford or Saka, and now we've got Garnacho out. Let's get him in the team. But seriously, imagine Rashford on the left, Saka on the right. Deadly. Just deadly. Cheers for watching, lads. Me and Editor Ben have put a lot of hard work. This was one of the hardest uploads we've done together. So I'd appreciate if you watched another. Please comment your thoughts. I want to get some comments in, or subscribe. It would mean the world. I promise you won't regret it. Macca out.